All right, let's get right into it here. Looking at Spider 65-minute chart here. The biggest question is, after this down gap we witnessed this morning here, as you can see, the market closed here yesterday. We gapped down, opened here, and that down gap, that opened down this morning, that down gap still open at close. And this could be problematic for the buyers going forward unless bulls can fill this down gap as quickly as possible. And I can say this, as long as this down gap remains open, I could see hecticness going into the remainder of this week. So it is extremely difficult. It is extremely important for the bulls not play around with this and make sure to go up and fill this down gap as quickly as possible. This is where things could get tricky for the bulls if they do not fill this gap, and if the sellers protect this down gap, I could see bulls are not able to advance for the remainder of this week, unless bulls plan the entire thing, allow the bears to come and gap it down a little bit, and then allowed it to sort of hang around in this vicinity all day long so that they can just gap it over. And if that is what bulls are planning on, and if that's what's gonna happen tomorrow morning, let's just say if we do see a gap above 454.26 tomorrow morning, we gap above 454.26, bulls are going after to fill the entirety of this 456 down gap.
Perfect.
I think that's if that happens, if we see a gap up above 454.26, that's what bulls doing. Bulls doing a quick rest, allowing the bears to get in here a little bit so they just can gap it over. If buyers fail to do this, fail to gap it over, or even fail to fill this down gap that opened up from this morning, I do believe at least at minimum that micro-term moving average is going to get retested a minimum first hour, because the micro-term moving average was right there to capture it on the first hour when we see that gap down here, as you can see, grinding all day long. But as you can see, that micro-term is important because the micro-term did act as support just last week here. So it is no surprise that prior support acting as new support as well here. So that micro term is holding this thing. And as I zoom out here, as you can see, the micro term has been holding this entire move since when it bottomed back in October 30th at 409. There's only one incident where that micro term moving average was breached to the downside. You see that green moving average there? Short term was right there to capture it, right? Short term was right there. Short term, again, this is a level where the micro term entered short term. We saw that bullish cross right here. We've been talking a lot about bullish cross signals. So micro term, short term bullish cross right there. Ever since then, it was unstoppable. So you can see even this morning's down gap, right? This morning's down gap right here, there was a micro term, because micro term was right there just last week as well when we did see that downturn. So if that down gap from this morning, it doesn't get filled early tomorrow morning, the micro term is gonna get retested. If we do lose micro term, we have the short term moving average right there, 450.90. Remember that short term does have impressive resume, because last time when we saw a downturn right here and micro term was lost, short term was right there to capture it, and then you can see what happened after that.
Yay! Hurrah, hooray!
So if we do lose micro term here, currently residing, it looks like the micro term is currently traveling at 452.35. The short term is 450.19. So if we lose the micro term, 450.19 is where the short-term moving average is going to be next level support. So this is an important level here. Bulls got a lot of support there gonna be dealing with here. We got the micro-term, short-term, and the mid-term. Mid-term was not retested. Last time when he did get retested was back in early November. So it's been 20 days that mid-term was retested. So we are in an overall uptrend. We do want to give benefit of the doubt to the buyers, but that down gap from this morning, if that down gap doesn't get filled, I do expect the micro-term and the short-term moving averages to get retested this week.